So we want to welcome everyone to our product passion. So today we have some exciting guest speakers. We know that most people who are on here have experienced some really amazing things with Soul Naturals products, and they have really, some have pretty powerful stories, and some stories are ones that most people can relate to. And so it's important to get, everybody to be able to share. So we're going to feature three people today that are going to share their soul stories with us. So I really appreciate them being on here and opening themselves up because we know that, in order to really truly make an impact on people, sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone and share our own personal testimonies because with that, we can connect with people. And we know people are really suffering right now. People are really going through things and going through things they've never experienced mentally, emotionally, physically. So the more we share, the more lives we can impact. So I want to thank everyone ahead of time for them sharing their stories. And if after we're done, if there's time, we'd love to have anybody who would like to share their stories. So first, I'm going to start with Angel. So if Angel, you have the floor, and if you can just share, what caused you to learn about soul, who introduced it to you, and why you felt you needed it, and what things that you took from the beginning that helped change your health. Take it away.
Okay, well, I made lots of notes so I could stay on task. My mentor is Tammy Peterson, and I was blessed to be in her market and meet her. And it wasn't the first time I heard her talk about soul that I decided to make an order. I want to say that it was the second month that I saw her market. I was in it, but the first month I watched what she was doing, watched some of the other vendors, and she convinced me that I should maybe try some soul for my daughter who was having some anxiety, sleep issues, and I would call light depression. My daughter does not like that word, so I usually call it malaise because she was just out of sorts. She's 9 years old. Anyways, and so that's what made me order Vital, Adaptable, Renew, Vertizymes, and Soul Megas for her. And that's what we started with. And Tammy told me, okay, start her off on a half a packet and kind of just wait 3 to 5 days before you give her the full packets, just in case of detox. And so instead of saving it, I was like, oh, I'll just take the other half. That's just what I did. The thing is it made me feel a little bit better. I didn't take anything else other than the other half a pack of Renew and Vital. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to think about this because I do like alternative treatments. I'm a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. I have been in remission for 9.5 years now. I went the full Western route because that's advanced stage, and everybody else that I knew that went alternative with advanced stage died, and I had a 5-month-old. So that's my decision. But it was really hard because Western medicine hacked at me and poisoned me to help me survive. I have no regrets, but there was a lot of damage left behind. I say that I have like the body of an 80-year-old because it's really messed up. So chronic pain, I've had migraines for the last 25 years. I have lymphedema because I had cancer in my lymph nodes in my armpit that was removed. So lots of issues. I'm also bipolar. I do take a prescription medication for it, and I have panic attacks. So I have all these issues and problems, and I was already taking ashwagandha, astragalus, and turkey tail and lion's mane mushrooms. So I was like, oh, this is an easy thing. These cost less than what I'm taking and have more in them. Okay, those are easy. And they helped more. That meaning NeuroIM and the Vital. The Vital was like, okay, here's my replacement for ashwagandha and astragalus, plus I get these 6 others that are amazing. Couldn't find Soul Megas, plant-based omegas anywhere cheaper. I am budget conscious, so when I was just starting as a member, I was like, well, these are all really good values too. And then Power Cheese helped me with my stamina and tiredness. I do all four of the foundation drinks. Um, I think they have impacted my health in so many ways I can't measure. But then I also added Flex PI. So Flex PI, 5 of them with 3 vertizymes, have split my medication need for migraine medication. Because when I have a migraine coming on, and I usually would have hit the Advil, because that's my before prescription go-to. I hit my vertizymes and my Flex PI, and half of the time I don't get to the Advil, you know? And so, and then half of the time that I even do follow up with Advil, I don't get to the actual Imitrex. So it's really helped me eliminate some of the chemicals in my diet. And the Flex PI I couldn't live without it. It has made it so when I get up in the morning, I am not so stiff and so much pain. I have lived with a level 5 to 7 pain for a really long time. I have lowered it between, I got in pain control, got it under a 5 with acupuncture, but Flex PI has put me in closer to a 3 to 4, which that's an amazing difference. I also just had surgery on my hand or arm for my lymphedema, and the surgeon agreed to let me take Flex PI and vertizymes for my pain. And I never took the tramadol, which was a prescription for pain. I never took Tylenol. I never took Advil. I only took Solle. It handled the inflammation. I did use AC cream, which to me was just perfect, synergistic. I've used calendula and arnica most of my life. You know, my mom was always into alternative medicine and not just pursuing the medical route. And she's a nurse. So, I mean, she believes in Western medicine, but she knows that they can work together to really help. The other thing that I love about Solle that got me to go as my husband and I to progress as specialists is Tammy is the sweetest, kindest person. There is no competitiveness in any part of the company. Every person upline from her has that same vibe. It's like an environment of the whole company. And I've been exposed to other MLMs, and there's a lot of deceit and a lot of, you're going to get really rich quick. I love that I'm with like-minded people, that this is just a way to support a lot of their full-time careers of volunteer work instead of people who are just looking to build some, huge empire, which, I'm not interested in, but I like that none of the training is presented that way either. So I really appreciate this part of it. I love that we get to have Zoom with the founder of the company and I can ask him a question. That's amazing to me, So those are all my notes.
Well, thank you so much for that, Angel. I never knew those things. So that's really powerful. And it just shows the things that we can do, even if we have to take a certain route. And, that's what we have to do. There are other things that we can do to help heal the body from the side effects of other things that we had to do. So that's really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh,
I
did you want to say
forgot one
something?
thing.
Okay.
One thing. So anxiety and panic attacks. I thought Tammy called it liquid Valium, but it's my name for it. I Renew and Vital when I'm having a panic attack has literally changed my mind, like my life. I do not have to take the prescription medications like the Ativan or the Valium when I'm having a panic attack. They do it and they're healthy and they're giving me vitamins and minerals. And anyways, that was my other thing. I didn't make a note of it, so I forgot.
Well, that's very, very important. So thank you for bringing that out because we see a lot of people struggling with this right now, more than ever. And, many people turn to medications and there's a lot of side effects and other things that come along with it. And so it's so awesome that we have actual plants created for us on this planet that can help us naturally go, overcome these things that we're all dealing with. So thank you for bringing that out, Angel. That was really powerful. Thank you again. So let's see. Next we have, but yeah, I love listening to people's stories, and this is why it's so important. So many times we think that, well, what am I going to have to share? You know what I mean? People, they're not going to want to hear what I have to say. No, we all want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear what everybody has to say because everybody has their own story and it can connect with someone out there and it can give them hope. And that's what we are about. That's what Soul Naturals is about. That's why, like you said, being around like-minded people is so powerful because you can see that there's hope and we're real people with real problems. And so thank you so much again. So, oh, Becca, did you have something to say?
I just wanted to say, Angel, I loved hearing that and to hear how you used, traditional medicine and natural alternatives, and you're continuing to do that. It just shows that whether you are going completely the alternative route, or if you have to use medications in your treatments, there's a way to put it together. And so it's really cool to hear your story and how you've found success with that, because I think a lot of people are unsure and they just don't know what to do. And so that was really awesome that you were able to share that, because I think a lot of people can benefit from that. So I loved your story. I didn't know any of that. So
And we have to agree, Tammy's pretty amazing. And if anybody's wondering what is that she's talking about with the market, Tammy runs a market for different businesses, so people that get featured, and that's how Angel, right? Isn't that how you came to even know Tammy? Yeah. Okay. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, Angel. So now we're going to go on to our next person, which is Estella, and she's out in San Antonio, Texas. So I want to thank you ahead of time for doing this. All right, so take it away, Estella.
Well, mine is short and sweet. I came across Soul through Instagram, but in a different way. I follow a friend of mine, and we've been friends for a long time, and I had never seen her look and feel and be as active as I had about a year ago. And she was posting, she's hiking, she's doing all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, that's just not like her. What has she done? Because I've got to know what it is that made this huge difference for her. So I texted her and I said, you just look great. I just need to know what you've done different. What is it? And I was, at that point, I was going through a little bit of a hormone imbalance, and I was getting some of the symptoms of it. Not really bad, but bad enough to make me uncomfortable, and the night sweats mainly. And she said, well, I started on this product, Soul Naturals. It's great. It's done this, this, and this, and this for me. And I said, oh, wow. And she said, and I said, I wonder how, what if it would help me. And she said, well, there's only one way to find out is to try it. And I said, So I started looking into it, and I thought, you know what, I'll just give it a try. I started with two. Well, actually, I started first with the Excel, thinking that would be the one to help me. But I'm kind of sensitive to a lot of stuff, so Excel was a little too strong for me, and it was keeping me up at night. And I call Rachel. I'm like, Rachel, I don't know what to do. This stuff is way too strong for me. And she's like, just get off of it completely for a few days and just go with the Vital. And so I tried the Vital. Within 3 weeks, my night sweats were gone. And I've never really been much into herbs as much. I would take some vitamins here and there, but I never really saw a big difference. It's just one of those things, like I never really, like, they're okay, but I don't really see a difference. So, but this, I could really tell that it was helping me with the night sweats, and also just helping me to stay kind of level throughout the day when it came to my energy. I think I have a lot of energy sometimes, but then I hit this low throughout the day, and this was kind of keeping me a little more balanced. I noticed that too. So, anyhow, as time went by, now I don't really even think about the night sweats. It's been a year now that I've been with Solle, and my husband ended up taking over the Excel that I couldn't take, and so he loves Excel. And so, I just started looking more into the product and started trying some of the other products, and have been able to share it with some of my family and friends, and they all have really benefited from it. It's just amazing to see how it's helped them in different ways. So that's it.
Thank you, Estella. Thank you for sharing that. I know, and really, I know the Soul Vital, just that alone made such a big difference for you. So that was really cool. And that's the thing about being a specialist. A lot of people say, well, maybe you don't know what that is, but being a specialist means that, for $75, you can have your own business. You can help people. You can make full-time or more income, or you can just do it just as something to, as a hobby and helping people. And, a lot of people here as specialists are like, oh, I don't want to do business. I don't want to get roped into anything. But what happens is people try it, and then they're like, man, this worked so good for me. And I know so many people that are suffering and struggling. And I used to have people like say, oh, I'm just going to send them to you. You can help them. And I'm like, why should I benefit? Why should I get the commission when you're the one helping them? Like, just be a specialist. Like, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. So I know that happened with Estella. She became a specialist, and then she was able to help her family. And so that's a really powerful thing. And it's up to each person how far they want to take it. Like for some of us, it's a very, lucrative business. And for some, it's just to pay their mortgage or make a car payment or gas or, or retirement, put it away or whatever. But anyway, so that's something that's happened because people have fell in love with it. So thank you, Estella, for sharing that. I've loved getting to know you. It's so cool the people you meet that you would have never met. So that's a real special perk of this business. So thank you again. And then we are going to go to Tamara Cole. So now it's your turn, Tamara. It's all yours.
Okay, well, I will do this the best I can here. I have a 2-year-old that I never know when I need to run to help her potty or whatever. When you asked me to do this today, I thought, well, I've done this before. I've done it quite a few times before and shared all of this stuff. But I thought this time I just want to go back to how I felt before Soul. So I had come out of a really horrible marriage with domestic abuse. And I had gotten a lot of great support and help, and I'd had some therapy. So I'd gotten past some of the major anxiety attacks that I'd had, the kind where I, had to go in the ambulance to the hospital because I didn't know what it was, that kind of stuff. So I'd gotten past that, but, and I was able to start my full-time service, which I had always wanted to do, but with a lot of support. And I felt like I was just sort of clinging, sort of barely hanging on. And also I was blessed with a fantastic part-time job that allowed me to do it. And it was the kind of job where I could be sort of sheltered and cared for by my peers. That I was teaching at a community college. I was teaching a subject that I was just passionate and loved, passionate about. So everything was wonderful. I was full-time service. I had this wonderful job. I had grandchildren. I had gotten out of this horrible abusive situation, and you would think, well, okay, everything should be hunky-dory. Everything should be wonderful. But I found myself in this spot where I was ready to call my boss, who was almost like a friend, and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I was about ready to call my overseer and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. I need to take a break away. I need to try to get on disability. I need to go move to the mountains somewhere and live in a cabin. I was just like, can't handle life. And I had developed a really good friendship with Rachel's dad. And, you know, he was a fellow musician and we were just really good friends. And we would talk once in a while on the phone and, you know, we would get together and play music. And he was like, Tamara, you got to talk to my daughter, Rachel. Because he understood that I was like miserable. I was also in extreme pain, like 7, 8, 9 level pain with fibromyalgia. And he understood that I needed something. And he thought, well, maybe Rachel's stuff can help you, you know? So he kept trying to tell me, you got to call Rachel. And he gave me your number. You got to call Rachel. And I'm like, yeah. I've tried all this stuff. I'm not going to do that. I'm already taking this and this and this and this and this and a lot of the same ingredients. Finally, I was just to this point where I thought, you know what? I got $100 left in my account. I got to do something. So I called her and she said, okay, you got $100. This is what you're going to do. And she gave me, or she ordered for me. She didn't even leave it to me to do. She ordered for me the Vital and the Flex and the Cinemate, just those 3 things. They came and I started taking them. And she, you know, she texted me like 3 days after I got them and just make sure I was taking them, make sure I was, and I'm like, yeah, I felt like going for a walk today. What is this stuff? Yeah, I felt like getting up this morning. I didn't want to stay in bed. Wow, the desert is beautiful today. I'm out enjoying it. What is in this stuff, right? So I just kept at it and kept at it. And I gradually I ended up adding adaptogens or adaptables, sorry, because I really needed those for the anxiety. And it was this journey that I didn't have to stop my full-time service. I didn't quit my job. I didn't quit life. I've been able to be there for my mom, who's very elderly and needs a lot of help. It's just like I can function. Not only can I function, but I can enjoy life again. I can enjoy my full-time service. I can enjoy my job. I can enjoy just being me. And the level 7, 8, 9 pain that I was in with fibromyalgia is completely under control now. And, you know, on a bad day, I'll have a level 2 or 3 and I just take more Flex and I'm good. I'm fine. So now I have this new thing in my life. Okay. So life is never going to just go along smoothly and be predictable, right? So here I am working with, you know, the construction groups and the full-time this and that, and I'm doing all this stuff, right? And then boom, my life changes. I have now a 14-year-old and a almost 3-year-old granddaughter living with me full-time. So there's driving back and forth to school, there's the potty training, there's everything. It's just the full thing, right? I don't give them back at the end of the day, right? They live with me in my 1-bedroom apartment. I'm also still taking care of my elderly mother. So you put that all together and you go, okay, wow, well, that's enough to knock you on your keister. I've had some bad days. I'm gonna be honest, I've had some bad days. But when I feel it coming on, I feel the fibromyalgia starting to kick back in because it's really stress related. It has to do with the neural system. I just take more Vital, more Cinemate, more Flex, more Adaptable. I just do that. And then I can breathe. Okay, then I can breathe. I'm okay. And you know, there's police reports, there's CPS, which Child Protective Services to deal with. There's all these dynamics going on with family that are really, really hard. But I'm still able to keep going. I'm still able to cope. You know, I've had to cut back on a few things, right? But I'm good with that. I'm okay with that because, you know, that's what's important, right? So that's it. I mean, I got a whole bunch of technical stuff I could share with you. I could talk about money. I could talk about sharing. I could talk about all that stuff. But what it boils down to is that I'm able to keep moving forward with my life. And you know what? I don't think I could do it if I didn't have Soul. I really honestly don't know where I'd be without it. It would be bad. It would be bad. I wouldn't be able to help my grandkids. You know, they'd probably be in a foster home with strangers right now. So anyway, there it is. Thanks, guys.
Oh, shoot. Thank you, Tamara. You got us crying over here. Okay. That's a really beautiful way to end it. Thank you so much, Tamara. All right.
Sorry,
Great.
guys.
I'm looking at
I'm
her.
sorry.
No, but I'm so glad that you shared it, because the thing about it is things change in our lives. You know, I think that, you know, a lot of us believe in, you know, our spiritual foundation and prayer and, you know, our service and things like that. But if you're falling apart physically, mentally, and emotionally, we don't have what we need to keep going. You know, I mean, this is just the reality of being human beings right now in the world that we're living in. And we need the tools. Everything is here for us. That's the thing about it. We're talking about things that were created for us for a purpose, you know, and what a gift that we have found things, you know, because I think all of us have try different things. I mean, we've all been through different things. We have different stories. But for Tamara, for you to be able to have found something that helps you to stay doing the volunteer work that you love, and then when something unexpected happens, you don't end up in the mental hospital yourself, unable to care for those who need you. And what a beautiful gift that is, because time and unforeseen occurrences happen. We don't know what's ahead. We don't know what could happen, but how awesome that you can be there for your grandchildren to love them and care for them when they need you, you know, and so what a blessing this is. And, you know, we've heard so many stories, and I just really appreciate all of you guys. You know, everyone's story is important. Estella, Angel, Tamara, all of the ones here and people that we know, everyone's story is important because someone is going to connect with you, you know, and we have to get through these things to the best of our ability. And if we have something that can aid us in that, to be who we want to be, to do the things that are important to us with a smile on our face, then let's take advantage of that, you know? We might be able to do it, but we may be crying along the way or pretty frustrated, and we don't want to be that either. So, but hey, we do the best that we can. So. Oh my gosh, but thank you so much, everyone. That was so beautiful. I appreciate everyone being here and all the loving comments that people have posted in the chat. We know everybody appreciated all of the things that all three of you guys shared. We know that there's countless stories, and you know, if any one of you ever wants to participate and you know, in one of our meetings and just share a little something, please let us know, because we would love to hear from you. So we want to thank everyone for that. I do know that, Rebecca, are you ready for the wheel? And what we're going to give away this time is we're going to give away a bottle of the SoulFlex PI, which stands for pain and inflammation. So that's going to be what we give away today. So we get away.
Okay, here we go. All right, and I went ahead and left. We had a couple people that just had to leave, but we wanted to include them in this. So here we go.
What do you know?
Tamara! Yay! Okay. Tamara, you're the winner. Okay.
I can use that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, well, I guess that wraps up this portion of it. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Rachel, before we transition? Okay, so something that Estella, you had your hand up. Go ahead. Oh, was that an accident?
No, I did. I have a question for Angel. Oh, did we lose
We
Angel?
left. We
Oh,
lost
okay.
her.
Okay. That's okay.
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think something that we can all
I can
notice.
send her a message.
Oh,
message
okay.
for you if you want.
Just wonder, she said whenever she has those anxiety attacks that she takes the Vital and the Renew. I don't know if she takes them together or does she just,
Yes,
it's like just drink
together.
them together. Okay.
Just mixes them and drinks those together. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.